The Cannabis Show is for information only. Nothing contained in the show is intended to constitute professional advice for medical diagnosis or treatment. We do not claim this information to be complete or exhaustive or to be applicable to any particular individual's medical condition. You should always consult with a qualified and licensed physician or other medical care provider.
Hi, and welcome to the Cannabis Show. Today we're going to learn how to clean a vaporizer. Also, we're going to explore the Blue Crinkle strain and conduction versus convection. What are we talking about? Well, we'll find out with You Can Ask Us Anything.
So in past episodes, we've talked to you a little bit about how to use a vaporizer, and right now we're going to actually show you how to clean a vaporizer. So as you can see, this one is pretty dirty, got lots of gunk in the mouthpiece. Inside there's lots of dried and gunky cannabis in the oven. You can clean these vaporizers, or any vaporizer, basically with a few household items. So what I have here is a little bit of isopropyl alcohol, and this is a 70% variety. I would recommend going with 99% if you can find it, but 70 is certainly appropriate. Some Q-tips. You can find those probably in any drugstore, anywhere. A little bit of table salt, and then just a couple of dishes. I'm going to use this one just to dunk in, and then also I have a sealable plastic bag that we're going to put the mouthpiece in to clean. So let's get started. First thing that I'll do is I'm going to take a little bit of this isopropyl alcohol, and I'm just going to pour a little bit in this dish right here, just so that I can get a Q-tip wet. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my plastic bag and I'm going to fill it with a good amount of table salt. Really get quite a bit in there, if you can. That's probably pretty good. Feel free to be liberal with the salt, though. The more the better. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your isopropanol and pour it into the baggie. Probably want a good, just get some decent coverage underneath, because what you're going to end up doing is taking this mouthpiece and putting it right inside. So as long as there's enough to cover it, you're good to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to actually take the mouthpiece that you can see is really kind of gunky, put it right inside there, and I'm going to seal that up and just going to give that a good shake. Make sure you get the salt kind of in and around everything inside the mouthpiece. This is a really good and really easy way to clean. And we're going to clean the oven shortly. So I'm just going to shake that around a little bit more. Probably could have used a little bit more salt, but this is going to work in any case. And shake it a little bit more. And I'm just going to let that sit for a little bit. And while we're doing that, we're going to take the Q-tip, and this is how we're going to clean the oven. So what you're going to do is just gently take a little bit of the isopropanol on the end of the Q-tip, and you're just going to stick it directly into the oven and just move it around a little bit. And you're going to, when you pull that Q-tip off, you're going to start to see some of that sludge coming off. And just clockwise, counterclockwise, it doesn't really matter. Just get in there, make sure you're going up and down. Get it nice and clean, and then flip it over, and you're just going to dry it out a little bit. And then what I would do is maybe even take a little bit of water and on another Q-tip and just rinse it off a little bit. You can repeat this obviously as many times as you need until you start to see that white ceramic of the oven, and that's how you would clean the bowl. And let's just go back to this, give it another quick little shake. I'm going to open it up and actually get my hands dirty in there. And I'm just going to take a little bit and seal it off and give it a good shake that way, and you'll see it's going to get quite a bit cleaner. I'm just going to give it another rinse in there, and then I'm going to take a Q-tip, go on the inside of the glass piece, and as you can see, it's a lot cleaner than it ever was. And with repeating this a couple of times, you're going to get this thing like it was brand new. Before you use it, what I would do is run it under some warm water just to make sure you get all that isopropanol off. Then let it air dry, and then pop it back on, and you're good to go. And that's how you clean your vaporizer.
Blue Crinkle is a strain a little more mysterious than others. What we do know is that it is based out of Ontario and Quebec and is also known by some as Ontario Blue Crinkle. What we also know is that the crinkle name itself is believed to be from the leaf drying out around the bud, which remains in great health. Known as an indica strain, it is said to be derived from a hash plant cross, perhaps with blueberry kush. Legend has it that it's also the biker's favorite strain. Patients who are looking for pain relief or a better night's sleep may want to use this high in THC strain. Another perk, Blue Crinkle has a delightful aroma.
All right, today we have the Metrum's Red number 5. That's the Blue Crinkle.
Yeah, it's a nice nice starter indica, I think.
Right, yeah. A lower side of the high THC numbers at 18%.
Yeah, definitely. And I've seen some lower THC numbers on that one as well. This one, it's got some Canadian roots to it. I've also heard it referred to as Ontario Blue Crinkle. Some of the research that I've done on it basically was talking about how the leaves start to crinkle in the veg state, and that's where the name comes from. For me, when I stick my nose in there, I get that whole bewitched thing going on. It kind of tickles my nose. It makes me crinkle my nose. That's why I think it's called Blue Crinkle.
Yeah. Well, it's a pretty bud. It's dense and it's super frosty. Smells fantastic.
Oh, the smell is, you can't match it. It's amazing. You'll recognize it right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
That's nice stuff.
That's the Blue Crinkle. Linalool has a boiling point of 198 degrees Celsius, 388.4 degrees Fahrenheit. While commonly found in cannabis, linalool is most well known for giving lavender that very distinct smell. Lavender, and therefore linalool, has been used for thousands of years to treat anxiety, aid in sleep, and as an overall relaxant. Linalool is actually essential to the body's natural production of vitamin E. People often look to strains exhibiting that unique purple coloring in search of higher amounts of linalool. While this is not always accurate, it is a good start. For larger amounts of linalool, look to strains like Master Kush, OG Shark, and LA Confidential.
You can ask us anything. You got questions, we got answers. We got Hart, Basil, and I'm Chris. And if you have a question for us, you can tweet it at NatHealthServe, or you can email your question to the Cannabis Show at naturalhealthservices.ca. All right, guys, today's question comes from Emma, and she says, I'm looking to make the switch to a vaporizer. Can you explain the difference between conduction and convection, and what do you think is better?
Yeah, great question, Emma. The main difference is that conduction vaporizers, they heat a chamber, which in turn heats the cannabis, while a convection vaporizer, it heats the air before it moves through the cannabis.
So in terms of which one's better, it's a personal preference thing. Sometimes you might find that the convection vaporizers are a little bit higher priced. You probably are going to get a little bit better draw and therefore a little bit better use of your cannabis if you're using a convection vaporizer. But really they're both essentially doing the same thing, and that's heating the cannabis up to a point where you can inhale those great cannabinoids and terpenes.
Excellent, Emma. Thank you for your question. Now, if you have a question for us, again, you can tweet it at NatHealthServe, or you can email us at thecannabisshow@naturalhealthservices.ca.